Hey, how you doing? I hope you're well. I'm Diana and welcome to my channel. Today I'm starting a new vlog and this is the ultimate book vlog. First video concept came from Hayley Pham and it's basically a cram everything bookish into one video, which sounds amazing. So it is Friday the 17th of Jan and I am slowly packing up my apartment because I am heading off to Adelaide this weekend. Why, you may ask? Jess from the First Chapter Books, who you know I love and adore, she runs an independent bookstore in Adelaide which champions independent authors, independent romance authors, and in particular has a really big push to supporting the Australian romance community, and I just adore everything she does. I'm very lucky to be a rep for her bookstore, so linked in the description box below, and always is my rep code and link to the First Chapter. So if you're in the mood for finding some awesome romance books, please check her out. I always go to Jess before I look at, you know, other sources. But anyway, she opened her physical store location just over a year ago, and this weekend she is launching her first book convention. So of course I had to jump on a plane to go see her and support the event. So the event is called A Romantic Affair and am very excited. There are a ton of authors. I have some pre-orders already. I am expecting to pick up some cheeky books along the way, particularly looking at you, MK Vindictive. I need a physical copy of If I Would Have Known because that book broke me earlier this year, and I think there are some fun treats that people are bringing along in terms of like advanced copies and things like that. Tonight is the VIP cocktail night, so very excited for that. It is going to be hot as fuck in Adelaide. Not looking forward to that. So in Melbourne we're finally having a cool moment, a stretch of moment, but when I fly to Adelaide it's going to be like 30, 35, 35. So I will lap up the sunshine maybe, and I'm just praying to all the gods, the old and the new, that my hotel room has air conditioning and lots of it. So yes, this will be a bookish vlog focusing around the convention. So we'll have some b-roll of the convention. I will try and get as much b-roll as possible. I am also volunteering because I wanted to help support Jess. I will do my little haul. I will give you updates on what I'm currently reading, and I might do some journaling because I want to bring my journal with me. So what am I reading? I have, let me go grab it. I am halfway-ish through The God and the Gumiho by Sophie Kim. Apologies if I say any of these words wrong, but I am completely loving this. This is a fantasy book that's inspired by Korean folklore, and I appreciated that at the start of the book there is a foreword from Sophie that explains that this isn't a traditional retelling, it's an introduction to Korean folklore, and she has taken these prominent figures and characters in her culture's folklore and has twisted them into her own fantasy world, which is awesome, and also has like a slight K-drama spin. We have a fallen god, Sokka, and he is the trickster god. He has been banished from the god's realm after he tried to overtake his brother's throne. He invited tens of thousands of Gumiho into the god's lands to overtake his brother's throne. He had it for about 3 seconds, living his best life, and then he was banished. And to repent, along with his banishment, he has a diminished use of his powers. He needs to capture X amount of, I think it's like 20,000 Gumiho to match the army that he created. So he's off doing that. He's not having the best time. He's like grumpy as fuck and actually works in this police department in Seoul. It's so much fun. He is grumpy and likes to work alone, but the chief of the police department seems to think of Sokka as like his son, even though Sokka is immortal and he's a god and he's been alive for a very, very long time. And, you know, the chief's just worried that he's overworking himself, not taking care of himself, has too much workload, and knows that when he gets into a case he gets real fixated, so he decides to hire himself an assistant. Then we have Kim Hani, who is our Scarlet Fox. She is a Gumiho in this particular case, and at the moment she is living life as a barista. She's been alive for a very, very long time. So in the 1800s she was known as the Scarlet Fox, and she won a killing rampage in England and has eaten so many men's livers and souls that she couldn't possibly eat anything else. And I believe this is set in the 90s as well, so it is giving me all those fun vibes. And yeah, she's rebranded herself. They're still trying to find the Scarlet Fox but haven't found her. She constantly dislikes the trickster god, so will piss him off and mess with him every time. He comes in, he just wants his iced coffee, one sugar, 1 milk and we'll put like 8 coffees in there and make it just a splash of coffee with all milk. And one night she's heading home with her friend who also works at the cafe. She's attacked. She decides, no sorry, not dealing with that, and kills the men and takes their livers for her friend. At this stage, because she went all like vicious rampage, the Gumiho have been ordered not to eat people so that humans don't become aware of them. And I'm really loving this world. These shamans have put illusions everywhere, so there's like a monster world living within the world, and there's a really dangerous creature running around. Also, we've heard the Scarlet Fox is back, and Hani decides to invite herself to be his assistant so she can steer him in the wrong direction. She wants to help him find the big bad, but when it comes to the Scarlet Fox, she is going to steer him in the wrong direction. And I'm just loving this. I really do now want to explore Korean folklore. I love folklore and mythology, and this has just been so magical. I think that's the only word I can describe it. Just so magical, whimsical. I am fucking obsessed. So I will be finishing this one on the plane, and then we'll see what I pick up. So I decided to leave things to the last minute, and I still need to finish packing and doing all that fun stuff. So I will check in with you when I'm in Adelaide. All right, talk to you soon. Bye. I made it to Adelaide, and in this very cute hotel room, I'll spin you around to give you a look-see. So flight was fine. It actually is wild to me that the flight to Adelaide is less time than my commute to work was when I was still living at home. Just you know, plain thoughts. So yeah. Oh my god, I just noticed the TV. Hold on. I love how hotels do this. So fun. I've got an hour and a half left of The God and the Gumiho by Sophie Kim, and I'm really loving it. I still think it is so magical, so whimsical that we've got this like hidden mythology monster world in Seoul, and we've got to the point where Hani and Sokka and their forced proximity has really kicked in, and they've gone from, you know, enemies to lovers. Well, enemies to something less hate-filled. And there was a beautiful one-bed moment. This precinct that Sokka works for is under attack, and then we kind of see a bit more of his human side, I guess, his humanity. He is... I'm gonna turn that lamp off. Has that helped at all with the lighting? Not really. Dynamic between them, and they're both like, they is this beautiful moment where they both realize that they've slipped into the informal language when talking to each other, and neither can really remember when that happened, but it's an indication of their growing friendship, and it's only something they recognize once they're with someone else. Things are happening. I'm very excited to finish this. I'm gonna read for a little bit more, and then we'll get ready. I've still got a little bit, put some makeup on. It's 30 degrees outside, so yes. And then I will check back in. I have brought my laptop, my reading journal, everything, so depending on how late I stay out, I might check in. With the VIP night, we also register for the event tomorrow, so I'll get my little lanyard, I'll get my little goodie bag, so I'll probably come back and show you all that stuff. I've had like 4 coffees today because airports suck. Oh yeah, the flight went well. It was packed. When I noticed we'll get some b-roll of the event, I might not be able to get too much b-roll, but I'll be trying. I'm just very excited to see Jess. I know I probably won't be able to talk to her a lot because it's her event, and I'm sure there are lots of people wanting to speak to her. Stupidly, it's a cocktailish event. The only cocktailish dress I have is velvet, so not really great for the 30-degree day, but it will be inside. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. All right. I realize I am rambling now, and yeah, okay, I'm gonna do the stuff and things, and I will speak to you soon. See ya. Okay, we're gonna have to say that in the grand scheme of things, the lighting is gonna be garbage for the Adelaide hotel portion. So I am back. It is a few hours later, all glammed up, and yeah, B-roll was promised. B-roll did not happen, but I had the best time. Yeah, my social anxiety when I first got there was a little stressed. I'm very glad that there was someone straight at the door who looked at my perplexed and confounded expression and me looking at my phone and was like, "Are you here for a romantic affair?" And I was like, yes I am. And then I got to wait in line and I got my VIP bag, which this is possibly one of the nicest tote bags I've received at an event. It has a zip. I don't know why I'm showing you the zip. You guys all know what a zip is. Like, ta-da, zipped. This is going to become my new work bag. So exciting. We'll get to the goodies in a minute. Very glad that a wonderful bookstagrammer, Renee, noticed me floundering at the bar and adopted me for the night. So that was quite nice. Thank you. Hello, Renee. And managed to talk to a number of wonderful people. I mingled my little introverted ass off, and Kate Louise came up and said hi. So I'm going to definitely have to see her tomorrow. And I had a wonderful chat with EJ Campbell and Ren Smith. So again, I'm going to have to drop by their tables. I think EJ Campbell just released her newest book in her Pantheon series. I have ordered the beautiful special edition from all the books. I don't think that's what it's called. Look, words are hard, people, and I've had a couple of ciders. Let's have a look. All of the above book box, which is a exclusively Why Choose book box. When I saw they were doing EJ Campbell's book, I was like, add to cart, add to cart, add to cart. So she's just released the second book, so I will be popping around to her table to say hi again and to buy the book, and then I'm gonna pop through to both Kate and Ren just to say hi. Most likely pick up one of their books. Ren did promise me that she's got some cool candles and some swaggy stuff, so want to go say hey. And I did also bump into MK Vindictive, who I recently read her newest release, If I Would Have Known, which beautiful angsty book. Broke me. She did promise me that she has a limited number of copies, so I will be beelining to her table the minute the doors open. And yes, after tonight I have so many more books to buy. Jess, fantastic. Cannot wait for tomorrow. Very excited. And now let's get into the tote bag. So we have a water bottle, which is great because I didn't bring a water bottle the entire trip, so this is going to do me well. This is also genius. Okay, what may look like a simple card is actually the, can you see that? It's actually the tables. Like, are you freaking kidding me? This is the most genius thing I've ever seen. I have been to a handful of book events, but this single-handedly is the best thing ever. I might quickly jot down the tables that A, I got pre-orders on, B, who I want to visit, and then also I am volunteering for tomorrow, so I'm going to help out with any of the authors who don't have attendance and, you know, man their tables while they go to lunch breaks. So I'm also going to map out which tables I've been assigned. So this is single-handedly going to be my lifesaver for tomorrow, and I'm very excited. So I have my VIP badge. Very nice. Beautiful romantic affair. I love the pink. And then I have my volunteer badge. I probably wear them both at the same time. I don't know. Do I like change them out when I'm volunteering and VIPing? Is that too much? That's probably too much. I'll probably forget. So have both of those. Love. Ooh. Oh, we've got Ren Smith. Yes. I'm going to see her tomorrow, and she has a book out, and it's a fantasy book. We have swag from Zoe J. And like, are you freaking kidding me? That is, it's like a little keyring that's a boarding pass. That is so cute. Okay, I love that. I'm updating my keys effective immediately. Oh, LJ Rio. This is a magnet for her Faro Line series. And I did pre-order all 3 books. So I will be seeing AL Rio tomorrow. Lorelei Johnson. This is like a little business card with a free book. And this has got a novella and it looks witchy. Well, it says a Chicago Witches novella. But like, is she a storm witch? That's exciting. This is a sticker from Kaylee Bradford and it says boys in books are better, which I might just have to put that on my Kindle. Super cute. What else is in my bag? Oh, okay. We have a little business card for the Instagram for the event, and it's got like a little QR code where we can tag it, and I will be tagging. Love that. Oh my God, we have chocolate. Okay, these two. Love that. I probably will have that for breakfast with my coffee. That I've got a little kettle in the room. I don't think I have a fridge unless that cupboard is a fridge. And then we have a romantic affair little bracelet and ooh, some pens. So I have a Romantic Affair pen and I have a Ren Smith pen, which is great. And actually this is really handy. I'm gonna bring this bag tomorrow. This is gonna help me on the way home. I'm gonna have to check how much check-in luggage I'm allowed to have. I'm a little worried that I don't have enough space in my tiny suitcase. So note to self, for any events that I do later on this year, you need a bigger suitcase, Diana. It's super cute though. I borrowed it from mum, so shout out, thanks mum. It's covered in Mickey Mouse. Do you know how easy it was to spot my bag when it came through the carousel, the luggage carousel? I saw it instantly. So note to self, buy a bigger suitcase, make it novelty if you can, because it makes it so much easier to find your bag instead of wading through like these 17 black bags that come around. That's a weird rant to go on, but just know that I had a wonderful time, met a lot of wonderful authors, and I'm so excited to see them again tomorrow and also get their books. And I am going to have a shower and wash my face. I haven't read any more. I have about an hour left of The God and the Gumiho, so I will probably finish that one off tonight. So I'm going to get ready for bed and I will check in with you tomorrow morning. All right, bye. And I do promise to try and get more b-roll tomorrow, or just not even more b-roll, just b-roll of the event tomorrow, because Jess has done a fantastic job. All right, talk soon, bye. It is Saturday and I'm getting ready to head off to the I thought I was running late. So Adelaide is half an hour behind Melbourne, and I thought I was gonna try and get there like a little bit early just in case Jess needed some volunteers. So yeah, the plan was to get there a little bit early, and then because I brought my laptop with me, so it says it's 9:30 and I was like, holy fuck, how did time go so fast? Adelaide is half an hour behind. My phone actually tells me it's 9 o'clock, so yeah. Yes, so I wanted to give you an update. First update, just really promoting this little card thing. This is going to be my lifesaver. I did go through and I've highlighted the pre-orders I need to pick up, and then highlighted some of the authors in particular that I want to check out, and then that little circle is my little like volunteer zone. Having a look at some of the authors I've highlighted, depending on like funds and stuff, I might not necessarily be able to buy a book, but I believe they'll be at one of the other conventions that I'm going to, and a couple are Melbourne based as well. And I'm a little worried about my fringe because I decided to cut it yesterday and I woke up and it was like sticking up and I was like, oh fucking hell. I did not plan for that. I also finished The God and the Gumiho, and sorry, I'm reflecting on the ending and I am needing the second book right away. I wasn't expecting the romance to kind of be as prevalent as it is towards the end of the book. I mean, personally, I'm a romance reader, so I did enjoy it. And there is really big character growth on Honey's behalf, which was really sweet to see. And then we obviously see Sokka really soften towards her. We now have a time jump, so we were in 1992, which I did love. And again, it was just a very subtle like mentioning of it. The end of the book is in 2018, so very excited to get to that one. Has it been released? Which is called The God and the Gishwin. I've probably said that wrong. I really need to brush up with my Korean, which is coming out in June, so excellent. I will get that, and I don't have obviously the book on me, but this cover is stunning, so I'm hoping we get a cover equally stunning. So yeah, I'm going to finish my coffee and then maybe make a move. I wasn't gonna wear lipstick today, but the lipstick I wore last night, actually I created a lip stain, and despite the shower and rubbing it in my face, it still stains, so I've just topped it up. And I've looked at the list. I'm going to be interested to have a look at the vendors as well. The tattooist is going to be like absolutely packed today because there was going to be 2 of them, but one of them had to pull out. So Ari May is going to be like absolutely packed. We'll see. Again, stressed about the baggage situation, but it'll all work out. So I'm going to finish this coffee and head out. And I'm just, yeah, super excited for today. All right. I will see you in the B-roll. All right. Cue the B-roll. Bye. We are back at the hotel room, a different angle. I'm here for the haul portion of this video. We did a lot of damage. I'm looking at what I got, and I'm looking at my suitcase, and we're gonna have to do some creative reshuffling of the luggage, so I figured let's do the haul first, and then I can spend the next however long stressing about my suitcase situation, and then probably have a nap. It was such a beautiful event. I got to see a lot of the authors that I spoke to last night, and then see a whole bunch of new authors and catch up with some other Instagrammers and book bloggers, and that was so much fun, and it was just so beautiful. So where to start with this bag? So I did, as I mentioned, check in with Ren Smith, who I did speak to last night, and I do have a wonderful goodie bag. Thankfully, the wonderful Lucifer let me dump my bags at her table. Actually, you know what? It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it did mean that I had like a visual blindness as to how much stuff I was getting. Oh, okay. I didn't look through anything. I just purchased and moved along. So yes, Ren Smith, she is a fantasy romance author. She made these little soaps and it smells delicious. And then I got this little choker with these angel wings. And her book, we've got When the Shadows Dream by Ren Smith, and this is the first book of the Realms of Magic and Mayhem, and that cover is stunning. So it says, as a hybrid who feeds off emotions and souls of the corrupted humans, Jessie survives on the edge of reality. Hidden from the enemies of her family, she avoids the supernaturals as much as possible, until a chance encounter in an alley on Earth opens up the possibilities Jessie never thought possible. How many of her secrets will become uncovered, and just what lies will she expose? When enemies become allies, friends become foes, she must forge her own path in the shadows. This one sounds amazing. And then I did get some fan art. I don't know where that's gone currently. She signed it, and then she included this little book review page, which is so cute. This one sounds amazing, right up my alley. When I find the fan art that goes with this, I will show you, but I've not prepared at all, so excuse me while I freak out. I did bump into Bindi Kennedy, and I got an early copy of Bunny Season, which is her new adult hockey romance. I do have a review copy of this as well, which I'm about to pick up, but when she mentioned she was going to have a couple of copies of this, I couldn't help myself, because I mean, look how adorable this cover is. So this is, yeah, a college hockey romance. So we've got Lottie, and it says, I think I could love him, NHL beckons, so I know that I'm going to lose him, and somehow knowing that makes a secret fling with Noah Peterson safe. Like free falling when you know a net is in place, the reality of an end date gives me permission to just let go and just be. And for someone like me, someone who has lived their life in the shadows, that is a revolution. For Noah, it says, a new year brings new challenges, new teammates, and new bunnies. Throughout my college hockey career, I have chased them as much as I have the puck. But someone has changed the game. And trust me, despite the blonde hair, blue eyes, and massive heart, that someone is no bunny. She is everything. And yes. So excited for this one. I wanted to pick up her West Village series, so she had this beautiful like box set, but we have a luggage issue, and Bindi's based in Melbourne. I'm going to see her at a couple of events later this year, so definitely we'll be able to pick up that then. But how cute is this? And then I picked up my pre-order from AL Rojo. She also had these little friendship bracelets, so I picked up one of them from her desk. Oh, I got a scrunchie. Love that. I run with the Alpha, so she writes paranormal, a pen, some stickers, a magnet, a bookmark. So I did get the 3 books in her Ferelyn series, the pack of the Ferelyn series. So we have book 1, Heart of the Ferelyn, book 2, The Power of the Ferelyn, and book 3, The Strength of the Ferelyn. So the first book, an Alpha is the heart of the pack. It is hard working being a single young mum. Ridley Wade Cohen believes herself to be failing in life. With a past that haunts her and a family who rejects her for decisions she makes, Ridley has no choice but to find a job, any job. When she lands herself a position as an assistant to this successful Pharaoh group, a company owned by the most powerful pack of wolf shifters in the country, and its leader, the Alpha, Tobias Pharaoh, her life changes forever. There is no way to escape the Alpha when he has you in his sights, but as Ridley tries to run from her past, the more it torments her, and with her heart telling her one thing and her mind the other, will Ridley be able to find happiness she craves in a strange new world among the pack of wolves and their Alpha, or will she just bring danger to Ferelyn? And this one sounds so much fun. I'm pretty sure they follow different members of the pack, and oh, she's got the numbers on the top. Can you see that? I love that. And I'm very excited to add some more books to my paranormal romance collection. I was so good. There was a couple of like vendors and they had all like their cute little mugs, and Bookish and Spice, who are an Australian special edition shop, was selling special editions, and I was eyeing 2 of them and I didn't partake. I will probably go and order something at some stage, but I didn't actually buy them. Oh, here we go. Here is the fan art that goes with When the Shadows Dream, so it's like the character. And they've all got like info on the back, so that is very cool. I love that. I'm gonna put that in the book so I don't forget it. I then had to check in with Kate Louise and I picked up Side Stage and Jumpstart, and these are her only books out. So the first one we have is a rockstar romance, and I love a rockstar romance, and we are following Casey, and Casey's life is just where she wants it to be. She quit her day job, has taken a bet on herself, and now runs her own business from home, which I love that. I wish I had that energy. But when her 2 best friends take her on a fateful trip to Sydney, Casey's world changes when she meets a charming stranger. Vaughn Reed is the frontman of one of the hottest up-and-coming bands, yet when he spots Casey at a restaurant, he can't keep his eyes off her. Just as they're becoming closer, Vaughn needs to get back on tour, and Casey needs to decide whether these new feelings are worth fighting for. Will his fame get to her, or is Vaughn the adventure she needed all along? And that sounds amazing. I should say these are all signed. And then her second book is Jumpstart, which is a GT racing romance. And we're following journalist Harper Allen Wright as she's assigned a day in a life piece and is sent on a week-long visit to the Echidna Racing Garage. There she meets the rising GT star Thomas Henry Jackson. Harper and Thomas have an understanding. They don't like each other. Thomas despises the media and Harper is not a fan of his rude and dismissive attitude. While Harper tries her best to extract blood from a stone that is Thomas, she quickly works out that it's not worth her time. Together, they're thrown in the exciting world of the Australian GT Championship and are forced to get along whether they want to or not. All bets are off once they develop a tentative friendship and finally admit their attraction to one another. As their arguments turn into flirty banter, their walls slowly start to crumble, leaving them both with a feeling vulnerable and open to trust each other. So these sound great, and I love the fact that they're both set in Australia. And Kate was just the absolute sweetest, so very excited to read these and support her. I then had to go to MK Vindictive's stall because I did check in with her in the VIP night and she said she did have copies of If I Would Have Known. I've already read this one. Very luckily received a review copy, so I'll link the review down below, but this book is 5 stars. I love collecting my 5-star books. I love these trophy books, and this is a rock star and a hockey romance, and we're following Ophelia, who is the front woman of one of the world's biggest bands. She should have her life together, and from the outside it seems that she has her life together. She's lovingly dubbed the Taylor Swift of rock. However, if you take a little look closer, her mother is absolutely terrible and belittles everything she does, and her boyfriend may be just using her for the connections he can get to his own business, and tragedy strikes with her family, her brother and her brother's pregnant wife, and she ends up taking a break from tour to help them through their grief and through her own grieving of her disgusting boyfriend who cheated on her. And while there and trying to ignore the world and figure out what she wants to do with her life, she bumps into Rook, who is the newest addition to the Chicago Hellhounds NHL club, and they're able to help each other heal, and it was just so beautiful. I spent several parts of this book reading it through tears as I couldn't stop crying, and yeah, had to make a beeline because she only had a certain amount of copies. And then I also picked up her first book, which is an Christmas romance, little novella, and it says on the back, to do: 1, fix sleigh; 2, seduce Santa. And that sounds like so much fun. I'm gonna absolutely eat this up for Christmas. And she, yeah, signed them both. We have a Santa bookmark, use your words, and then it says Santa baby on the other side. And then I just think this is genius. She made this bookmark for the band. So on this side we have, Hopeless Mercy Ticket, which is Ophelia's band, and it's got the date and the venue is of where we were today. And then on the other side we've got the Chicago Hellhounds playoffs, and I think that's just such a fun touch. I love making like fake tickets for books, and the fact that we've got both the hockey and the rockstar, I think that's just the most amazing thing ever. So much fun. I'm gonna have to take a close look at the details because that is just such a nice touch. I did stop in to get some merch from Panther and Pearl as they were doing special edition bookmark. So this is the bookmark. It's all like pink, and obviously the romantic affair was like all pink, so I had to pre-order that. And then we got some stickers, and then they also just had some stickers there, so I wanted for my book journal, so it says support your local book dealer, which I thought was hilarious. And then we have Romanticy Book Lover, and then Fated Mates Book Club. And you know me, I love a Fated Mates moment, so that was perfect. Actually, I haven't done too badly. I'm actually being proud of myself. And then as part of my volunteer duties, I was just helping out those particular booths that didn't have attendants, so they can run to the bathroom and get lunch and all that stuff. So that was fun. I just got to stand at the table, and I did get confused as an author a couple of times, which that was quite flattering, but I had to be like, no, you don't want my signature, because people were going around getting signatures of like all the authors there. Ren Smith also made some little lip glosses, which are just the freaking cutest. And I did pinch a bunch of these. She's got like some wax seals, which are going to be so perfect for upcoming journal spreads. Like, she really did me a solid. And then I did get a pre-order of R. Moody's Null and Void, and I very gratefully received an ARC of this beautiful book. I unfortunately have been very slack and didn't get around to it, but this is a fantasy. I'm not sure if it's like fantasy romance, but I know that it's a fantasy, and feminine rage is like the word that keeps getting thrown around, and I just need that. So we have, I'm just flipping through, like, it is beautiful. Oh, and she signed it. She was so lovely. She was one of the first people I went to pick up my pre-orders. There is this stunning map. She did have like maps on the table, but I already knew I was gonna have a luggage issue, so I didn't want to get it squashed. And look at the chapter headers and that beautiful artwork. So, null and void, adjective, having no force, binding power, or validity, worthless, valueless, useless, less. There is only one thing worse than being born patron of the divine, being branded null and void, absent of a gift. After enduring a life of servitude, my retired assassin and Null thought she would live her days alone, but once an assassin, always an assassin. When Mika is sold as a slave, a fate she promised would never be hers, her hope for a solitary life is lost. Now destined for an impossible rescue in a foreign land, her only chance of survival is to fight the destructive rage simmering beneath her skin and learn to trust those around her. As trust deepens on a journey and a charming new companion fights for her heart, Mika is forced to face the truth of who she is. In the end, she must choose to embrace it or let the rage win and risk losing it all. So like, this sounds amazing. And she did say the next book is coming out this year. And look at this. Yeah, I will be reading this one next month because it's going to be Pharaoh. I don't know how much romance is in it, but it's fantasy, and I've really been slacking on my review copy, so you don't care about this, but my goal at the moment is any review copy I have left over from 2024, I'm going to start reading like 1 or 2 of them a month, so this one's coming for Feb. This next book, I had been eyeing it off, and also I'd been walking backwards and forwards, and I kept making eyes with this author and her assistant. They were both covered in tattoos, and I think we were both trying to like look at each other's tattoos. So I did pick up Crave by Stevie Carter. You know, she has got like this whole, like, look at that cover. She had romantic suspense. I picked it up and I said, ooh, what's this? And she said, it's Spicy X-Men. And I said, say less. Say less. I will have one. She said, did you want the second book? And I said, I would love the second book, but my baggage says no. So I've seen her name on a list for another event, so I'll pick up the second book then. And yeah, it says a steamy dark romance featuring an independent female main character and a sensitive tortured male main character who falls first. This is the first book in the Stitch Up series, which will leave you gasping for all the right reasons. I love a superhero romance. I love the MCU, so I love superheroes, and I devoured Lana Parachek's The Deadly Seven series. And if this is also that, oh, there's artwork throughout this. Yeah, I'm so excited for this. Maybe I'll have to just do a reading vlog where I read a bunch of superhero romances. And also, like, if you know of any superhero romances, it's niche, but please let me know because I love that. And then last book, you hearing me? Actually, I lied to you. I've got 2 more books. Last book in this bag. Did pick up Ruined by Gemma Black. She was such a sweetheart, and this is the first book in the Arida Academy, and I love an academy setting, so it's got elemental magic. This book is made for me. So it says, going to the academy, a university for elemental mages, is not even close to being on the list of things Indigo Jalen wanted to accomplish in her life. But when she somehow scores a scholarship to obtain a certificate in magic. It's not the credentials that hold her attention, it's the fact that not only will her living expenses be paid, but those of her family back home. I would take it. And it's more than she could provide herself. Making the best of a situation with as much grace as she can muster, which is honestly not much at all, Indy makes her way to the academy, intending to keep her head down, make no waves, and get the certificate in record time so she can go back to her real life as soon as possible. Unfortunately, Indy gains the attention of the lords of the academy, 4 men who will stop at nothing to make her life as unpleasant as possible. Eric's, Theon, Mace, and Bentley Sinclair make no secret of the fact they want her to suffer, and the old adage, keep your friends close and your enemies closer, takes on a whole new meaning when the men move her into their shared dorm under the guise of auditioning her for their sept. And then people start turning up dead all over campus. And yeah, it's why choose, it's academy setting, and I said yes please. So very excited. I picked up Her Dark Angel by Chloe. I've seen this around, and this is a rockstar romance, and it's set in the 80s as well. So got Nash Beck. When my manager proposed I fake date the lead singer of Dark Angel to bring more attention to my upcoming movie, I never thought it would turn out the way it did. This must be the female main character. So we've got an actress and a rock star. So Nash is cocky, arrogant, devastatingly handsome, and can charm the pants off any woman he lays eyes on. Even though I thought I would be different, I thought I was strong enough to resist him, but it turns out I'm just like every other woman. But we are more alike than I thought. He too fights demons every day, and somehow it brought us closer than ever expected. Kingsley May is Hollywood's sweetheart. It's what everyone calls her. Although she suits the name, she is also a goody two-shoes who knows how to push every damn button Nash has. She's infuriating, smart, caring, and the most beautiful woman he's ever laid eyes on. He has no business fake dating an actress, but he has no choice. He needed to fix his public image, and this was the only way to do it. He told her from the start she couldn't fall in love with him, and here he was falling for her hard. She is his little devil, and he'd gladly be damned for her. Flicking through, we also have these kind of beautiful chapter headers. That's for Kingsley. Let me see if I can find one for... That's for Nash. So yes, Chloe Higgins has been an author that I've been seeing on my Instagram a lot, and when I saw that she was releasing a rockstar romance, I had to grab it. And we're down to the last 2 books. So I'm looking at this stack and I think I'll be fine. I think I'll be fine, guys. Like, I think I'll be so fine. Another pre-order I got was L.K. Shear, The Path of Stars, and this is the Wild Thorn Academy omnibus. Look how cute this artwork is. I ordered this one ages ago. I don't even know how many books are in here. Anyway, it says, just as poison was wielded by the wild, so shall poison seep into pond defiled. That which protected will now dig in deep, dragging all into endless sleep. To spare them pain and prevent the spread of death, the only way forward is to walk the path the stars do tread. Walked by 4, but also alone, the last step needed cannot be known. The Elf Queen will wait, lest her fate responds. She will entrust her life, her heart, to the season's new bonds. Fate walks with you, sometimes ahead, all hope will be lost until one embraces dread. And I think it's a why choose moment, or at least I'm hoping so based on that cover. And I got this adorable bat page holder thing, and I think that's the cutest thing ever. We got some bookmarks, that's like the cover art, and then we have these ones. So it says Fated Mates, MMFMM. Yep, so it's a why choose, demons, fae, shifters, descendants of gods. So that sounds right up my alley. And then I also got these bookmarks as well. I don't know if you can be able to see them, but they're feeling very magical. It just gave me magical Aurelian vibes, and I was like, yes. It's a roller coaster, but I'm back to being pretty proud of myself with how this is all going. I think I'll be fine. If I put my laptop in my carry-on, it'll be fine. What I'll do is I'll pack the books, and then I'll just chuck everything else around it. All right. I got A Romantic Affair, the anthology for the event. I believe the cover design was done by E.J. Campbell. We include authors Bindi Kennedy, Lucifer, L.J. Sky, Layla Pine, Jay Lynn, E.J. Campbell, and M.K. Vindictive. So I got them all to sign it, which was wonderful. And I'm actually thinking out loud here. Yeah, thinking out loud, I might actually see if I can extend this vlog just a little bit, and as part of the experience of doing the ultimate A Romantic Affair readathon, I'm going to read this anthology and let you know my thoughts on all the books. Yes, this is probably not going to do it any justice because like, and I believe like all the little stuff on here is like hints of what the books are about. So that's my haul. I got 14 books. Okay, that's not too bad. So I'm going to go and pack my bag, and I might make a start on this beautiful anthology. Bindi has written like an romance, and those two look so wholesome. So yeah, that's my haul. I'm gonna try and take a photo so I can post it to Instagram. Yeah, I'll check in with you when I have finished the first book, which will be Bindi Kennedy's. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm gonna go make a coffee maybe. Maybe it's caffeine time, and argue with my suitcase. All right, talk soon. Bye. Good morning. It is my final day in Adelaide. I'm flying home this afternoon, and yeah, I've had the best time. Yeah, shout out again to Jess from the First Chapter Books for putting on an incredible event. It was an absolutely beautiful, fun day. I got to meet so many wonderful people, other readers, authors, and I'm absolutely thrilled that I was able to come across and attend such a beautiful event. And when you're ready to do the next one, I will be there. So I'm checking in because I wanted to let you know that I read the first little novella. I'm calling them novellas. I don't know if they're novellas. The first story from Bindi Kennedy, which is Promise You Better, and this is my first snapshot into Bindi's writing, and I completely love it. It's an romance, and I love these boys. Actually, I think her bookmark, yeah, hold on. Her bookmark that we got for having the anthology is them, and how cute are they? Absolutely love them. And contemporary romance, it's quite funny. There's also a lot of dark stuff. So we have Jack and Garrett, who are sons of rival politicians. Garrett's dad is your left-wing Democrat who is fully supportive of everything he does. Garrett, he is liberal, he is openly gay, and he is a bit of a smartass. I think his dad spends a lot of time just trying to rein him in. And then we have Jack Winton, whose dad is the Republican candidate. He's looped in with a church in Charleston and is a horrible man. Him and the girlfriend that they've just gifted Jack to have the perfect image because she's the pastor's daughter, both of them just completely manipulate and belittle him. In the opening scene, we have him getting ready for this interview and just not wanting to be there and wanting to delay it, and his girlfriend comes in a huff, and he even just kind of looks at her and says, like, what are we doing? I'm done. Like, we're not happy, like let's call it quits. Which she just laughs at him and says no, and then makes a comment about how he looks, and yeah, they're constantly belittling how he looks, and they call him slow and do anything they can to manipulate his own like freedom of thought. And then she like rubs herself all over him and starts grabbing him, and then was like, you can't get rid of me, you'll miss out on all this. And then he just kind of unfortunately says he's sorry, and they head off to the event. And then through the interview, Jack has said some horrible things that his dad has fed him about LGBTQIA plus rights, about abortion, and you get to see from his point of view that he doesn't really feel it. He's definitely putting on a mask and doing what he needs to do. In this interview, they're interviewing like the sons, so the Democrat has twins, so the twins are there, and then you've got Jack and his girlfriend, and Garrett makes a smart ass comment, and then all of a sudden it's a press thing that Jack is going on a road trip with Garrett in his electric combi van and go to Pride. And it is them, forced proximity, falling in love. Garrett realizes relatively quickly that Jack's aggression towards him isn't necessarily being anti-LGBT, it's Jack struggling with his own feelings about his queerness, and also, you know, dealing with the mental fuckery that is the wild shit that his dad has told him and his girlfriends used to coerce him. Thank God for his stepmother Lily. She like strong arms herself onto this excursion as a way to get Jack out of this toxic household, and we have some steamy fun times and we get our cute HEA, and I love them. I'm really excited to read more of Bindi's work. I think I said earlier, I've got an ARC copy of Bunny, and I know that in her West Village series she does have an romance. So yeah, absolutely loved her and excited to read more from her. I don't know if Jack and Garrett are like fully standalone characters or they appear in the West Village series. So next up we have Lucifer, which is going to be a prequel to a What Happens on Tour series, and very excited for that one. Probably won't be able to update you till I get home. This beauty is coming onto the check-in luggage with me, coming on the plane, so whether I read this one or I pick up an audiobook, I'm not sure, but I will check in when this one is read. All right. I will see you when I'm home. Okay, bye. Hello, just checking in. It is Monday, so I got home yesterday and completely just zoned out. Didn't really have the energy or the want to do anything. So yeah, the flight went well. It was a little bit delayed and it was also packed again. This time we had the entire Melbourne Victory Football Club or soccer club returning home from Adelaide. So clearly it is soccer season, and yeah, that was fun. So checking in because I just finished the next novella in this anthology collection, and this was from Lucifer, and it was Tour Season, which is a prequel to her What Happens on Tour series, and it shows the boys' antics in the tour that's mentioned in What Happens on Tour. The reason why Marcus, their manager, begs Charlie to go on tour because, you know, they went a little wild and free, and it was just so much fun to be back with these characters. They're on tour, so it's quite in the infancy of them getting together, and they have been locked in the studio for months on end to create their upcoming album, and they've been finally given the chance to go on tour unsupervised and shenanigans happen. So we've got lots of music, we've got lots of antics and banter, and it's also set in Australia as well, which I love. So we get an exploration of some of the beautiful parts of Australia that are less well known. They head to Townsville, they are in Broome, they go to Geelong, which is in Victoria. So yes, it was great. And speaking of being in Townsville, there may have been a particular fan of the band also named Dee, which honestly, Lucy, loved that so much. That was such a fun touch. I think she'd mentioned it. I'm part of Lucy's street team, so I think she'd mentioned it, but it was different seeing it in print. But yes, was so fantastic to be back with these characters. It really is like something to tide me over till book 3 comes out later this year. So next up we have JL Sky, who I haven't read from yet. I know she has like a surfer romance series and she's got a rockstar romance series which she's starting, which I have pre-ordered both books in that series, so I really should get around to her, and excited to get a taste of her writing style. This one is called Offside Hearts, so I will read this later today. I am just quickly on my lunch break, so I will head back to work, and after work I will give you an update on the next story. But loving reading this so far. It's been such a fun time. Okay, I have finished the next novella, which came with some delicious spicy artwork, so thank you so much for including that, JL Sky. And this was Offside Heart, and it's a prequel to a new series she's starting, which is going to be the Beckford University series, which is coming out in late 2025, early 2026. And I'm gonna now go and pre-order it and or beg JL Sky for an arc, because that was hot. That was so good. The way we left out on a cliffhanger. So this, okay, words, Diana, words. You literally just put this down and now you're like, ah. Okay, so this follows Willow and Luca. And these two are university students, and they are kind of going through life as you are, dealing with shit. Luca is the captain of university soccer club. He's doing really well. He's got like a lot of press there. He's got an agent. There is a lot of interest in signing him once he finishes uni. And then Willow is studying music. She wants to be a songwriter and a composer. She sings, but her primary instruments are guitar and piano, mostly because her mother is horrific, like the most horrible woman ever, and just is constantly belittling her, just constant. So they just kind of going through university. They don't really talk to each other much. However, for the last 6 months, once a month, they go to a spicy club which has a masked theme, and there they find an outlet for their needs. Luca is a submissive and Willow is a dominatrix, and yeah, they don't know each other. It's very late into the novella that Willow figures out who Luca is, and then Luca is quick to find out who she is very shortly after. And it is hot. It is spicy. It is forbidden, because did I forget to mention that there's step siblings? And yeah, don't think I've read a step sibling romance before. This might be the first one. But anyway, ate this up. As I mentioned, we'll be going to pre-order this series once it becomes available, and also, you know, maybe ask JL Sky if I could have an arc, please. And also I'm going to go back, work my way through her backlist. But anyway, really love this, and am loving that this anthology has given me a chance to try out some authors who have been on my radar. Next up we have Tying Ryan by Layla, who is another author who I'd heard about through, ooh, we have another dom, like a female dom. So that's gonna be fun, exciting. And sorry, Layla Pine. Did I mention that the other one was set in Australia? So far, 2 of the 3. I'm having such a fun time with this, but I'm not sure if I'll check in again tonight, but my goal is to finish this anthology, the rest of these, tomorrow, so that I can start editing this video on Wednesday for it to be uploaded on Thursday. Safe to say, having a fun time. I'm adding so many authors to my list. I'm not normally an anthology girly, but like, look at this book. I can pass this one up. And yeah, maybe I'll keep my eyes out on the signing events that I am going to, and see if they have anthologies, because it might be a good way to meet new authors. Yeah, that could be fun. All right, I'm rambling now. I will speak to you soon. Bye. me. Hello, this might be the vlog of the very bad lighting, but I apologize. It is late. It's like 10:30 at night. The day got away from me, but I am checking in to let you know that I finished Tying Ryan by Layla Pine, and again, another author that I haven't read from before, but who I'm very interested in reading more of her work. Like with J.L. Skies, it also heavily features a BDSM relationship. It takes a very different approach to it, and we do have a female dom. And we have Ryan, obviously, who is an Olympic rower, and he's gone through some shit. So basically deep-seated trauma to do with a past relationship, and he's got PTSD and cannot move past it. He does meet our leading lady, Daniela, at a bar. They have a flirty moment. Daniela is a very busy, overworked girl and decides, hey, yes, I've just worked the night shift at this aged care clinic. Why not have a fling in the bathroom? They go for it. They have a very spicy time. However, when they're going to home base, something happens and Ryan starts to have a panic attack. It's a year later and Ryan has decided that therapy hasn't worked for him, but he's found some BDSM videos online, and it's the only thing that seems to have caught his attention and his attraction, so he has booked in to see a dom, and that dom will help him. He's interested in the idea of shibari and being restrained and a submissive space to shut off all the noise in his head from this trauma. He ends up booking a session with Mistress Savola, who, in a twisted turn of fate, ends up being Daniela. I think this is a standalone from what I can tell from the blurb, and there's just a beautiful exploration of BDSM. Daniela does do this as a job, so it isn't anything sexual on her end. She has very strict rules of engagement. Obviously, if there is a release from her clients, that's fine, but she will not touch them sexually or anything like that. It goes through what the power play dynamics are and the kind of cathartic healing nature of BDSM, which isn't necessarily spoken about a lot in some popular erotica. And I just thought this was excellent, really engaging, loved the exploration and the dynamic. I felt content where they ended up, but also if we got more from Daniela and Ryan, would be interested to read it. Or if we got a book set with these same characters and they were like side characters, you know, I'd like to check in on them and see how they're going. Just got a very kind of healthy understanding of where their relationship is. Enjoyed it. Pretty hot, but also quite moving. So the next story I have is Never Again by Jay Lynn. This also looks like it is going to be quite dark. We have on the trigger warning page SA, PTSD, and past trauma. When I spoke to Bindi and Lucy, they kind of mentioned that them being at the start of the book, they were the light and bright appetizers into it. So I'm feeling it, but I'm enjoying this collection nonetheless. So I will pop in with you tomorrow and give you an update on how I'm going. And hopefully we can find some better lighting. I'm gonna go to bed and I will speak to you tomorrow. See ya. Hello, I apologize. I've abandoned this blog, but we are making waves. This week's been busy. I was hoping to finish this off Wednesday night, but I went to a gig and then yesterday was just exhausted. So anyway, all that to say, I've read the next novella in this collection, which was Jay Lynn's story, which was Never Again, and oh, that was dark. We had true warnings for on-page essay, and we are following a girl named Isabel who in the very first chapter is assaulted, and the next chapters follow her still recovering from that. She lives with her best friend named Jasmine, and after I think it's like 3-4 months from advice from her psychologist and therapist, she is going out for the first time. She's a journalist, so she's been working from home, and her friend go to a bar that they normally really love, and at the bar they see a band called Trust Issues, great name, and she hits it off with the drummer. It is their romance. I'm not sure if this is connected to anything else she's written, but did love that we had a rock star hero. He was an absolute sweetie and was doing everything he could to make sure she felt safe and comfortable. I really enjoyed that on their first date. Jasmine and Jasmine's long-term boyfriend Jacob have been looking after Isabel while she's recovering and healing from her assault, and she's very interested in Ricky but is a bit nervous to go and be alone with him. So Jasmine and Jacob do go on a double date with him, and it's very sweet, and he buys her a bracelet with flowers on it because he says flowers die where this won't. And yeah, it's very sweet. We do get their HEA at the end, but it was pretty brutal, and we do have some like flashback scenes within the collection of her remembering and being triggered by what was said during the assault, so just keep that in mind. But I really enjoyed Lynn's writing style, so would be interested to read more from her, and hopefully she's got a rockstar romance. Next up we have E.J. Campbell, which I think it's a MMF priest romance, and she writes quite dark, so very excited to try E.J. Campbell for the first time. So I will read that and we'll check in with you in a little bit. Hello, I have just finished Shepherd and that was hot. I think, no, this is definitely the first priest romance that I've read and I enjoyed it. Having now read E.J. Campbell, I am very excited to pick up her Pantheon series, with Forget Me Twice being the first book. So we're following Noah and Charlotte. They're high school sweethearts. They're about to be engaged, and as for this town, small town in Southern America, they are going to like premarital classes at their local church. However, the standard reverend who looks after this precinct has recently had surgery, so has taken the summer off, and we have Father Benito is taking over, and he likes what he sees. He is been sent to this small tiny town after was caught sleeping with another member of his flock. At this stage, I'm not sure if it's going to be a standalone or not, but it was hot, it was dark, and I can't wait to read more. So yes, not much else to say there. I have one more story to go, and that's by MK Vindictive, and it's called The Glass. I spoke to her at the VIP night, and she said if I would have known her most recent novel that was out made me cry, that this was worse. So I'm bracing myself. I'm bracing myself, and I just had a flick through, and it's got a content warning page, which these are mostly dark romances, so they've all got a content warning page. And as you can see there, the first thing we see is the definition of captivity. So we're bracing ourselves. I might have to get myself a coffee. I am about to clock off for work in about, I'm still working, but I don't know why I'm whispering. This will go on the internet and you will hear it. But when I like to work from home to keep motivating myself, especially on a Friday, I will do a bunch of tasks on my to-do list and then I'll read a chapter. So I will finish up for the day. I've got a few little things that I need to wrap up before the long weekend hits, and then finally I will tonight be able to wrap up this vlog. I'll check in again to let you know my final thoughts on the anthology. Okay, so I just finished the last story in the collection, which was The Glass by MK Vindictive, and this one I think is going to sit with me for a while. It is quite dark, and obviously I showed you at the start that we've got captive as the first thing, and it's what to say, there's not spoilers. We're following a girl named Layla who has been captured by her stepfather's brother. She was 18, wanting to get out, escaping where she could, and she has a really bad fight with her mum and ends up on the run when her stepdad's brother comes in and is like, I'll offer you a sanctuary. However, he drugs her and locks her in the attic, and some very dark assaults happen. And we open this with Layla kind of running through her coping mechanisms when this man visits her and someone arrives to the house. And I think that's really all I'm gonna say, but it's one that there is a lot of hope, but there are just constantly things that are mentioned throughout the story where you sit back and you're like, wait a second. I don't think what's happening or what Layla is telling us is happening is actually happening, and it is quite harrowing. That might be the darkest one of the whole collection, so whew, boy did we save a doozy for last. But overall I can't say I enjoyed it. It did hit me in the feels for sure, and I think I'm gonna just go sit and stare at a wall for a little bit while I continue to process this. But I have thoroughly enjoyed the process of reading the anthology. While this ultimate book vlog video for A Romantic Fair has extended out past what I expected it to, I think having read this was just a nice way to hold on to that weekend a little bit longer. Thank you again to Jess from the First Chapter Books for putting together this event. It was absolutely wonderful, and 2025 is turning out to be a year of events for me, and a romantic affair just kicked it off absolutely beautifully. I think I'm gonna close it off here, so comment down below and let me know if you went to a romantic affair or what the last book signing you went to, or you can leave me a pink emoji. The color of the romantic affair was branded pink, so let's go with any pink emoji that sparks joy to you. I will leave the books that I hauled, and like always, my social media channels are always linked down below if you'd like to talk to me or follow me on any other corner of the internet. If you'd like to see more content from me, please like and subscribe. I will be posting videos every Sunday. Yes, in January my schedule has been a bit all over the place, but I am committing to at least attempting to post something every Sunday. Anyway, that's all from me today, guys. I hope you're doing all kinds of well, and I will speak to you soon. See ya!